Hey guys, it's Darren with Cinema at Home, and I'm back with my second and final video of comparing the Evolve AI 2400 in the canal hearing aids versus the new Signia AX7 INSIO in the canal hearing aids. Now, I've had both of these. If you watch my earlier video, I had both of these for just over 30 days. And man, I tell you what, it has been a challenge. You know, sometimes, and even my audiologist warned me of this, is sometimes trying to compare things at the same time, especially with hearing aids, is confusing. It's kind of aggravating, and it takes you to a place sometimes you don't want to be in your head, okay? But my audiologist, knowing that, I have a background in electronics, I have my AV company for 22 years now, and also having a background in medical technology. I was a respiratory therapist for 30 years. She thought I would be a good candidate to take these both home and try them out side by side. So for 30 days, I've been comparing them both. I would wear one for a day, one another day, maybe wear them for a couple days, switch them out, and sometimes in the same day, I would change them out several times just to compare. Apples to apples in a specific environment. Maybe I'm watching TV and I'm not hearing the commercial. Who wants to listen to a commercial anyhow? But maybe I'm watching a program and I'm not catching what they're saying, so I would stop, pause, switch out, and repair the other hearing aid, put it in, and then replay that same commercial. Then I could kind of judge, okay, I can hear that, quality a little bit better in the TV. Okay? So these, let me tell you this. Either one of these is probably going to be fine for you. Either one of them probably would have been fine for me. Like I said, I just happened to be lucky enough to where I had both to compare back and forth in the same day for over 30 days. So let's kind of get down to it. The Signia INSIO AX7, a great product. Some things I like about it is a little bit larger in size for an in-ear canal, a little bit more stylish in the fact that it is, I chose black, so it's got a nice glossy black, and then the part that's exposed is a nice matte or flat black, kind of an eggshell. So it's not highly reflective in your ears, so it just draws less attention. And I did like that about it. One thing I didn't like about it is there's no marking to indicate, or I should say there's no real visible marking to determine which is right or left. If you look, see if I can get my camera to focus in. If I can, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. So anyway, okay, so if you look at the serial number, the very last letter is an R. That tells you that's a right. Now, I've got brand new glasses, less than 2 weeks old, so my eyes are just about as perfect as they can be. Normally, with my older glasses, I couldn't have been able to read that. Not that that's a big deal, because these are all screen printed on here. Both your markings on the NCOs and your Evolves are screen printed painted. So those are going to wear off. It's just over time you will adapt and know by picking up which one goes in your right and which one goes in your left ear. So I do like that. If you have dexterity problems, the Signias may be better because you can grasp them and hold them better. With the Evolves, they're a little bit smaller. There's an R, so I know that's my right side. Again, that will wear off over a period of time. Dexterity-wise, a little bit harder to maneuver and handle in your hand. Now, mine do not have, in my previous video, I said that it was either a manufacturing defect or they forgot, but there is a little, I call it like an antenna, but it's a clear piece of plastic that sticks straight out that you can grasp onto, and it helps you pull it out of your ear canal. Mine doesn't have that, so I will talk to the audiologist this afternoon about that. And they do have the copper contacts exposed. Now, from what I read, that just it's another avenue for moisture to access your hearables, and moisture, as with any electronics, is the biggest enemy of electronics. But both manufacturers state that if you drop these in water or jump in the shower with these, you just need to take them out as quickly as possible and dry them off, and you should be okay. That being said, I also recommend putting desiccant, a little bag of desiccant, in your hearing aid charger, just to help draw out any moisture throughout the night or day when you're having these things charged. Again, both are great products. Both have an interactive app. Signia has their app, and EVOLV has their app called Thrive. Now, let me warn you, both of these are Bluetooth compatible. Both of these are controlled and manipulated via an app on your Apple or Android smartphone. If you've used your Bluetooth, whether it's making phone calls or streaming music, you know that you will inherently have issues with your Bluetooth. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a Sony TV. I don't care if it's a Sonos audio system. I don't care if you're just trying to stream some music to your phone. Bluetooth inherently is not super reliable. Okay, there's pairing and unpairing, disconnecting, reconnecting issues with either one of these two hearables. So if you're not a very tech savvy person, that may be an issue. Now, that being said, you don't have to use the app. You can take either one of these hearing aids in the morning, pop them in, forget your phone, walk away, go to work, and you can still get by just fine. You just can't make any changes within the program itself. You can still use your tap gestures on either one to change your program settings or your memory settings. So, and that being said, one thing I do like about the EVOLVs is with their tap gesture, when you push that button, it announces in your ear what memory you're going to. So if I hit it once, it says normal. I hit it again, it says music. I hit it again, so on and so on. Now, with the Signias, it doesn't operate that way. Their tap gesture works on tones. So my first tone is ding, my second one is ding dong, my third one is ding dong ding, and then my fourth one is ding dong ding dong ding. So if you're not paying attention when you're hitting your gesture with a Signia, you may not know where you're at with the memory that you're trying to get to or the program. So that, I didn't like that. Also, with the app, Signia, you're limited on your apps, or I'm not sure your apps, but your, I can't remember which one they call theirs programs. So you're limited on the program because that has to be tweaked and adjusted at the audiologist's office. So she has to create your program. So the default program with Signia is called Universal, which to me, that signifies universal means it works with everything, which I guess it does, but it also signifies it's not me personally it's working for. It's working for anybody. So if I stick it in their ear, it works. But you can change that. You can actually change that on the app. You can change it from universal to my normal or everyday, whatever you want. But to make significant programs, you have to have the audiologist do that. So, for instance, I have grandkids, and my grandkids, probably like all kids, when you ask them a question, say, hey, how was your day at school today? Oh, yeah, well, it was okay. It was all right. Really? What'd you have for lunch? I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. But if you ask them a question about something they're enjoy or excited about, so what are you playing on that video game? What's Fortnite all about? Oh, Fortnite? Oh, that's great. I can do this, I can do that. So their voice raises, they get more excited. So within a few seconds, the volume of the grandkids can change. So I asked my audiologist for the Signia, I said, can you create a program that's called Grandkids? I call my grandkids grand monsters. So can you call them, grand monsters? So she did. She kind of boosted the highs and the volume. But I can't do that from my app. Whereas with the EVOLV-AI Thrive app, I can create my own memory and name it whatever I want and tweak it however I want. Now, for some people that are not very tech savvy, that may be a little bit too much. You don't know what EQs do. You don't know about frequencies. You don't know about boosting and taking back your low end frequencies. So that may be, a little bit too much. And that said, you don't have to access that part of your app. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to use it. Just like if you have a fancy car and it's got turbo boost on a button on it, it doesn't mean you have to use it, but it's there if you want to, and if you know what it does, great. So app to app, Thrive Evolve versus Signia's app. Evolve's Thrive app, hands down, is a more intuitive, more robust app than Signia is by far. Is that a good or bad thing? Both. Like, again, you can spend hours and just drive yourself nuts with the Evolve Thrive app trying to tweak it and get it just right. Whereas a Signia, you're kind of limited, so you kind of just give up and say, okay, this is the best it's going to get. What did I find out about the Signias I really didn't like? And this could be a setting problem, I don't know, but I did discuss it with my audiologist 5 days ago. And when I'm in a quiet room with the Signia, I usually have a sound, which in a very quiet room is very disturbing because I'm trying to figure out, am I hearing the air conditioner, the fan? What is that noise? Audiologist come back on that was it's just a sign that these things are working. And really what I think it's the processor and the compression creating that sound. Now, could we have continued to work further on that and gotten rid of that sound? More than likely. But what I'm afraid of, in order to get rid of that, we would have had to compromise in volume or gain on one of the frequencies to compensate for that sound. And again, my audiologist kind of just said, blanketed it with an answer that kind of just said, that's the way it is. So I just assumed it was going to take more work to get rid of that than I really wanted to get into in other visits. The Evolves, when it's quiet, it's quiet. I don't have that sound. Now, when someone says something like, hello, Darren, right after Darren, I hear Darren, hello, I hear a quick, and that, again, is the processor and the compression. I think it's that latency that we hear, and I could live with that because it was just and usually if it's, a conversation going, I don't even notice it. But if it's a real quiet and maybe I just drop a pencil or something and I'm all alone, then I'll hear that pencil hit and then a quick sound. And if you watch the first video, I kind of go in more detail about cosmetics and the adapters and things what I liked about both, and those still hold today on this video, what I didn't like and liked about both. And not going deep into that, but one thing that Starkey has over on top of Signia is their charging unit has room for your filters. You got room for your filter. The brush is already built in, and you can stick a desiccant bag in there, and you can the unit charges, so you can plug it in, charge up the unit, unplug it, and it'll hold a charge for 5 days. So if you're just going out of town for 3 or 4 days, and all you got to do is just take your charger with you, as long as it's fully charged. You don't need to take the cable and transformer and all that with you. Whereas with the Starkey, you don't have any room for anything in here. You might be able to get the tool to fit in there, but your filters and stuff really aren't going to fit. They actually give you, like I said in the other video, they give you other stuff, a bag and another compact to carry stuff. So you take more to the party with this thing than you do with the Evolve. So that was a good thing for me. Like I said about the apps, yeah, Bluetooth can be your friend and it can be aggravating. Technology is great when it works and it sucks when it doesn't. We all know that, right? So that also being said, I also mentioned in my other video, I'm also a musician, so I listen to a lot of music. I stream more music now than I did before I got my hearing aids. So now having the ability to always have basically like earbuds in, hearing aids that are Bluetooth. Now I stream more. I stream in my truck when I'm driving. I stream my phone. So I'm real particular about my music. I like a very warm sound. My music, I like, a little bit more lower end and bass, not so much the high piercing sounds. So with the Evolves have more of that. They have a better reproduction of streaming audio than the Signias do. The Signias, no matter what we did to tweak them, I never got the low end that I really wanted. And not that I got it fully on the Evolves, but the Evolves were better. These aren't going to be like JBLs that you stick in there and you get that real thumpy low end, because they aren't designed to do that. The drivers and things inside these hearing aids aren't made to reproduce music, perfectly. They're designed to recreate ambient noise and boost and enhance and increase the volume so you can hear them. But Evolve takes more time, I think, with their options and advancements and abilities to make and tweak your own EQ and sounds. So if you are that techie guy that likes their iPad and iPod and all that and streams everything, Evolve is probably going to be the better choice for you. Either way, was the Signias fine? Yeah, we created a special audio sound music program for the Signias, and they were fine. Not great, but doable. So all in all, I chose the EVOLV-AI 2400 specifically for the reasons mentioned, that better sound, I think, better and faster processing. I don't have that constant sound. Less moving parts for me to take if I travel. I do like the look of them, but I like the Signias. So outside of aesthetics and really focusing on the sound, and that's what we're here to talk about, right? Is you want to put a hearing aid in and just kind of forget about it. You don't want to have to tweak and interact with it any more than you have to. So I found with the Evolves, I could just pretty much pop them in, get them tweaked where I want them for the day, and be good to go. And if I needed to change something, I could do it just by a tap gesture, and it would alert me and tell me what I was doing. Evolve's Edge mode, which is an enhancement mode. So if you're having difficulty hearing in a situation, you can, with your app or your tap gesture, engage what's called Edge mode. And from the way I was described that works is that it basically takes information from the last few seconds and kind of processes that and makes advanced changes for what you may be hearing. So if you're in a steady environment, it kind of enhances what you're hearing before you hear it. So I like that. Starkey has Signia has their directional hearing on their app, where you can hear everything 360, or you can focus in on the front if you're talking to somebody in a conversation, or if you want to hear something off to the left or the right, you can do that. I didn't find that very helpful. You can also basically just turn it off or turn it in auto mode. Now, when I put it in auto mode, that shh sound went from shh to, so it dropped and went shh when I'm in auto mode. But again, you would like either one of them, I'm sure. But for me, subjectively, the AI Evolve 2400s was the winner, and by just a margin, very close margin. And for me, it was just ability to not having to contact my audiologist. I could make changes on the fly for me, create memories and programs on it myself, and not have to have any assistance or help. Both are great products. If you have dexterity problems in handling and holding things, the Signias may be better because they're a little bit larger. They're a little bit more visible inside your ear. I've got my Evolve in right now over here. Whereas if I had my Signias in, it would take up more of my outer canal. So, but they look more like earbuds or in-ear monitors for musicians as far as the Signias go. So yeah, great streaming with the Evolve. Not so great reproduction with streaming with the Signias. Both, again, will have problems. I have problems. Sometimes it'll link to my truck, or if I'm messing with it, I may have to unpair them, repair them. or disconnect on my phone and reconnect to Bluetooth, shut my Bluetooth on and off, but you have to do that with either one and pretty much any other Bluetooth device out there. So in the end, like I said, the Evolve 2400s are going to come home with me today. I'm going back to the audiologist here in about an hour and let her know what's going on. And I hope this helped you. I'm trying to think real quick if there's anything I forgot to kind of mention as far as things I liked and disliked. Again, pros and cons to both, but for me, the pros won out over the cons on the EVOLV-AI 2400s versus the Signia INSIO AX7, both in the canal rechargeable hearing aids. So I look forward to keeping these and using them, and I'm interested in what advancements are going to happen with the application with Thrive. I know there was already a recent change. I had to update my app, and Signia also. So both of them are kind of in competition, and either one of them will probably work best for you. If I didn't mention earlier, like I'm an AV guy, so like I tell my clients, if they're struggling between a Samsung and Sony TV, I tell them when you get them home, you're going to like either one because you don't know what you're missing from the other brand. Fortunately or unfortunately, I was able to take both of these models home, compare them A to B, so it was a struggle. Okay, this has this one doesn't, this one has this one doesn't. So it kind of just boils down in the end is really for me was which one could I stick in my ear and not have to mess with so much? And that really boiled down to the EVOLV-AI. So hope that helps you out, you guys, and good luck. And if you have any questions that maybe I missed or didn't focus on, pop it in the comment section. I'll check this randomly, so I'll try and get to you as quickly as I can. But good luck, and I hope you guys can hear and move on.